This is New York Nightly News with Chuck Scarborough. Live from Studio 3C in Rockefeller Center.
Now, it is the worst nightmare for Yankees fans, a torn ACL for Mariano Rivera and a possible career-ending injury for the future Hall of Fame closer. He suffered it during warm-ups before Thursday night's game against the Kansas City Royals, twisting his right knee catching fly balls. Now, this comes after Rivera hinted this could be his last year in pinstripes. News 4's Scott Stanford has an update on whether Mariano Rivera will ever pitch again.
Okay, at this point, I don't know. At this point, I don't know.
Well, that was Mariano Rivera last night, just hours after tearing his ACL and meniscus in his right knee. It happened while he was shagging fly balls in the outfield, something he does before every game. A tearful Mariano says he doesn't have any regrets.
No, I never will second guess that or question the Lord. Yeah. It happened for a reason, and you just have to deal with it.
But the reality is cold for the Yankees, who are now without the greatest closer in baseball history. Mo has 608 career saves, 42 more in the postseason, and has seemed superhuman, and his production has remained stellar well into his 40s. Of course, you can imagine his teammates are stunned.
It's bad. I mean, it's bad. There's no other way you can put it. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's a huge blow. I mean, Mo means so much to this team.
Mo has been the rock for Yankee fans for most of his 18-year career, shutting the door on every major win on the way to 5 world titles. He hasn't been on the disabled list in almost 10 years. And as you can imagine, today, Yankee fans were all talking about Mo.
Mo's my guy. He's been around forever. He's a solid guy, and he'll be back. He's got to walk off the field under his own power.
It was shocking. They're going to miss his cutter. I mean, he's a great reliever, so it's going to be tough for him.
I was shocked. I thought maybe it was sort of an April Fool's joke, like a month late.
A little bit late.
Yeah, and then I saw the footage on TV, and it was just really frightening.
For New York Nightly News, I'm Scott Stanford.
Now, Rivera did make a bold statement to reporters this afternoon in Kansas City. Quote, "I'm coming back. Write it down in big letters," he said. "I'm not going out like this." Dr. Andrew Pearle joins us now to give us more insight into Rivera's injury. Dr. Pearle is an orthopedic surgeon at the Hospital for Special Surgery. He's also an assistant team physician for the New York Mets. Welcome, Dr. Pearle.
Thank you, Roseanne.
The ACL, it's one of several ligaments that connects the upper leg bone to the bottom leg bone. So how could an injury of this type impact Rivera's ability to pitch in the future?
Well, the ACL is a central ligament in the knee. It's one of the 2 central ligaments, and it's a crucial ligament to control stability of the knee. This is Rivera's right knee, his post knee, as we call it in baseball, his post leg, and he really has to drive off that leg to pitch, and you need a stable base and a stable knee.
So right-handed pitcher would come down on his right knee.
He would drive off his right knee. It's his back knee, and you really need a lot of strength and stability in that leg.
How could deficiencies in conditioning and or training contribute to an injury such as this?
Well, the ACL is a tragically vulnerable ligament, and ACL injuries are all too common. I mean, in the past week, we've had Derrick Rose go down with a ligament injury and Amon Shumpert go down with an ACL injury. So this injury happens all too often, and it happens in well-conditioned athletes and poorly conditioned athletes. Unfortunately, we don't have great prevention programs at this time to protect the ACL.
And how would steroid use by any athlete contribute to such an injury?
Well, there's not a real definitive association between steroid use and ACL injury that's known at this time. Again, this injury happens all the time. We do 200,000 ACL reconstructions in the U.S. each year, so it happens to all types of people.
Speaking of that, weekend warriors, ACL injuries, what can an individual do to prevent something like this?
It's hard to prevent these injuries. There are injury prevention programs. They focus on things like balance, agility, and strength training. And there are lots of programs now to help people who are particularly vulnerable to these injuries, particularly girls who play basketball and soccer, where there's an enormously high prevalence of these injuries. So there are training programs that you can do to really help you try and prevent these catastrophic injuries.
And what's the probable course of treatment for Rivera, and what's the long-term outlook?
Well, most high-demand athletes require an ACL for their sport. And so typically we do an ACL reconstruction. We can't repair the ACL. We actually have to replace it. The surgery is typically a season-ending surgery, and it takes about 6 to 9 months and sometimes even a year to get back onto the field.
But could it be a career-ending injury in this case?
Hard to say. We've come a long way in ACL reconstruction, and we've gotten very, very good at getting players back on the field, but it's a tough injury to overcome.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Pearle, and of course we wish Rivera the very, very best in recuperating. And it was a grueling day.